What's up, dudes? Today I'm going to show you how to tune a 6.7 Powerstroke with a BDX tuner. I'll also show you how to install the shift on the fly switch. So this is going to apply to a 2011 to a 2019 6.7 Powerstroke. So I got this from the Diesel Dudes. They sell delete kits and tuning products and they ship worldwide. I'll put a link down in the description to this kit. But if you're thinking about deleting your truck, make sure you look up your local laws and stay in accordance with them. I make these videos for anyone in the world to watch. In a lot of places, they don't care if you delete your truck. In some places, it's illegal. So just don't break the law. So first thing, you want to make sure you have a battery charger on. This is 10 amps, but anywhere from like 5 amp to 15 amp is great for tuning trucks. Let's open this up, and here it is. So if you're buying this from the Diesel Dudes, and that's who I strongly recommend you purchase this from, they will have the tunes preloaded onto here already, so you don't have to worry about putting tunes onto it. If we get into it and it says this thing needs an update, we must do it on the computer because the Wi-Fi chip in this thing isn't good enough for a stable connection and you'll just waste your time. So if you have to update this, plug it into a computer. So plug the HDMI cable into the BDX tuner, then plug the other end into this OBD plug. This is a stupid design. This cable kind of gets in the way and doesn't let you plug it in. But if I unscrew these a little bit, there we go. Now it's lower. Okay, this is really weird. This is the cable from the BDX. This is the OBD plug. See that like notch right where my finger's pointing? Notice how this it's not deep enough to slide over that. So this won't actually go on. So I just called my connection at Diesel Dudes. I'm like, have you ever had this happen before? And he's like, I've sold thousands of those and never heard of that happening. So I guess I'm just the unlucky one. Anyways, it's a really easy fix. I'm literally just gonna snip it right there and right there. And then just break that part off. And then look at that, slides right on. So I don't know, you probably shouldn't have to do that, but I don't ever want to hide anything from you guys. That's a BDX quality control issue right there. Whatever, let's move on. So as soon as you plug it in, it should turn on. So turn your ignition to run. I always shut off the climate too, just to save battery. And now we're gonna go right here to program vehicle. Gonna hit continue, turn key on, yeah. Key's already on, continue. It's doing a firmware update automatically. Should restart once finished. This is just a firmware update. It's not like an actual update like I talked about before. Okay, so it rebooted and it immediately went to this custom tunes folder. So you wanna make sure you're in a custom tunes folder. These are the tunes that the Diesel Dudes preloads onto your device for the delete. You also wanna make sure that this is the right year of truck you have. For example, this is a 2017, and as you see right here, it says 17 to 19. So confirm you have the right year in front of the tunes before you flash anything. So these are single tunes. These 4 tunes right here, those are single tunes. I believe it's 40 horsepower, 80 horsepower, 120, and then like 160. So if you want, you can just install a single tune. But since we're installing the switch, we want to install the shift on the fly tune. So this is the tune you're gonna load if you're running the switch to switch between power levels. So we're gonna hit OK. It says this is gonna disable the device's preloaded tunes. That's fine, we don't wanna use the preloaded tunes on this thing. Those are emissions on tunes, we're not using those. So we're gonna go to confirm. It says this device has not been paired with a vehicle. That's good, we're gonna pair it to this truck. When we hit continue here, it's gonna lock this tuner to this truck. That's okay, hit confirm. So here it's saying missing vehicle files. So this is where we have to update. It says we can update over Wi-Fi or we can exit and we can do it on a PC. So we're not even gonna bother with this. We're gonna just unplug this and update it. So I'm gonna hit exit. Yeah, exit. So you can shut the truck off and we're gonna unplug this. Plug it from here. And we're gonna unplug the HDMI cable. If you don't get the update message like we did, then you can skip this part, but I'm glad we got it so I can show you how to do this. So the Diesel Dude sends you all these instructions. You're gonna scroll down to written instructions and it says BDX instructions. Click on that. It's gonna bring you to this page they made. If we scroll down to right here, step 2.2, updating your BDX tuner. We're gonna click on the BDX because that's what we have. And it's gonna bring you to this page right here. And this is where we're going to install the device updater, right where it says click here. It's gonna go up into your folder here. Once it's done, you can click on it and you're gonna follow the prompts and just let it do its thing. You probably know how to install something. It actually does 2 installs. it installs the program and then it installs these drivers. So if yours does like 2 installs, that's totally normal. In the meantime, get this other cable out, plug it into your BDX, and then this USB end we're gonna plug into the laptop when this is all done. And here it is, device updater. Open that program up. All right, it says please connect your device. So we're going to plug this guy in. It should turn on. There you go. And now we're gonna go automatically check for updates. It says gathering device information. And I think we're just gonna let it do its thing here. So right here it says device needs to be updated, because now it knows our vehicle right there. So hit update device. And then just wait for it to finish. All right, all done. Device is up to date. We're gonna hit exit. I'm going to unplug this now. And let's go put this back in the truck. Okay, so put the key to run again. Back here, have this plugged into the OBD down there. We're gonna go back to program vehicle, continue, turn key on, it already is. So again, we want custom tunes. Down there is preloaded tunes. Do not go there. We don't want that. Make sure we're under custom tunes. And we're going to install the shift on the fly because we're doing the switch on this truck. We're not doing a single tune. Select that. We're going to go confirm. Confirm. And now it is programming the vehicle. So you're just going to let it do its thing here. The first ones go pretty quick, but it has a few things to go through. So just leave it alone. Don't touch anything. This is going to shut off. That's totally normal. Just don't touch anything. Don't open and close doors. Just leave everything alone. Even this screen goes black. The key is still in run, even though it doesn't say it, but it's programming. This is normal. If you see yours do this, that's normal. Do not press that button because you're like, oh crap, it turned off. No, it didn't. Just let it program it. I also recommend tuning during business hours on a weekday, just in case you have any issues, then you have customer support. If you try to do this in the evening or a weekend, the shops are closed, and if you have problems, you're gonna have to wait till the next business day. Okay, everything just turned back on. It's saying clearing DTC. So I didn't touch nothing. It just automatically turned back on. Oh, now it's off again. Oh, it's rebooting. But we should, oh yeah, there we go. So now it says turnkey off. And then hit continue. Programming complete. Congratulations, your vehicle has been programmed. Enjoy. We will. So you can unplug this guy from the truck, leave it in the truck or whatever you want to do with it. I'm going to take the charger off the truck and I want to make sure it starts. Alrighty. Oh yeah, buddy. I also like to confirm that it is in fact a delete tune and that we have no problems with that. So what I do is this is your EGR valve. If you just pop this red tab back, then you can actually pop that off. There's also this EGR plug there. I'm gonna disconnect that guy. And then if you look down there, that is your throttle valve. So right here is your throttle valve. The plug for it's down there. That has to be unplugged too if you're doing a delete tune. Some guys will just delete the DPF, like the exhaust, and they'll leave the EGR on the engine. That's totally fine, but you have to unplug those 3 plugs I just showed you. But with that stuff unplugged, I'm just gonna go in here again and we're gonna start it up and we shouldn't get any engine lights. All right, so we're running. We got throttle, we got no engine lights. So that means we are good. If you want to be even more certain that it was all good, then shut the truck off and then do it again, start it, make sure there's no engine lights, you should be golden. So if you just installed a single tune, you are done, your truck is tuned, congratulations. If you did the shift on the fly or SOTF, we got to install a switch. But just super quick before the switch, if these videos help you out and you want to show me a little bit extra support, you can go to darkirondiesel.com. I got some super cool merch there. I also have a Halloween drop for the month of October. That's a pretty cool Leatherface design. I do this stuff full time, so any purchase you guys make on the store directly affects me and helps me out. And I really appreciate everyone that shows their support. Anyways, let's install this switch. So grab your switch, and if your switch looks a little bit different than this, like the wires are a different color, that shouldn't matter. But basically we have to splice those wires into this fuel. I don't know if, I think this is a fuel temperature sensor or something like that. This is what it looks like on a 2015 and newer 6.7 Powerstroke. If you have a 2011, it will look a little bit different. The 2011 to 14 is a 2-wire plug like that. And then the 2015 to 19 is a 4-wire plug like that. It's kind of like a triangle. But it's literally exactly the same no matter what model you have. Both versions have 2 green wires, and those are the wires we're gonna splice into. So I got my switch here, and what we need to do is we need to run these wires through the firewall into the engine bay. So under the dash, see this big power wire? I'm gonna try to go through there. I'm gonna try to pull this wire down. I'm not sure how yet, but we're gonna try to go through there. If you come to the truck and you look down there, that's where the wire comes in, and you see that kind of, that nipple on the top. I'm gonna just cut that off and try to go through there. Here's that nipple. I just stuck my hand in there with a razor blade and I cut it off. And that's what it looks like now. So then back in the cab here, this cable, mine's kind of like up in an awkward place. I need to try to pull this down. But if I do pull it down, you'll notice on top of it, there's kind of that circle. That circle lines up where that nipple we just cut off is. So I'm gonna try to like pull those cables down and then use this razor blade to just kind of make a little X or something in that circle. And then we're gonna try to fish the wires through there. Be very careful. You don't wanna cut any of those wires in the harness. So be very careful of that. Then what I did is I have a coat hanger here that I've unwound into a straight line. And I fed it in through the bottom. I pull this down. You can see right there, the coat hanger is going through that little hole in the firewall. If we come around to the engine, you can see that coat hanger comes through. Now we want to grab these wires and we want to tape them to the coat hanger nice and tight. And it's going to look something like that. And now basically we're just going to pull this cable through the firewall. Sometimes it's easier to have a friend down here kind of holding that wire out of the way and feeding this through, while the person on the other side pulls it out of the engine. But just go easy on it, take your time, make sure it's all not getting caught on nothing, and just pull it through into the engine. And as you can see, we got the wires through, so you can take your tape off of this end. So pull enough wire through that you can basically run it here along the coolant reservoir and over to that sensor. Then grab this loom that comes with the kit, start it at the end here, and then you can just feed it on all the way, and you'll just feed it on all the way till it hits the firewall. Should look something like this. Then try to find the best way to run it. I kind of came up underneath here and then along the coolant tank and over to this plug. You can pop this yellow tab up like that. Once you have it popped up, you can press it and unplug it. So strip the ends of the wires. We're gonna put these little red things on. So you put this side on the wire and then you thread it in, and you can give it a little tug and it should be nice and tight on there. Then try to pull this back a little bit just to expose some more wires on the plug. And the wires we're gonna be splicing into are the green wires. There's a green wire and then a green and white wire. And like I said, even if you have an earlier 6.7 Powerstroke, there should still be 2 green wires, and that's what we're gonna splice into. And the polarity doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter which wire you hook to which green wire. So take this other end of the connector off and then put the wire through the slot. And then you're just gonna thread it on like you did before. That little spike right there is gonna puncture that green wire, and that's how it's gonna make connection. I actually found it was easier to put these 2 things on the green wires first, like so. And now I'm gonna thread these into those red plugs. And there you go, it should look like something like that. Now before we button it all up, I'm just gonna make sure that switch works. So if you come into the truck and you turn it to run, grab the switch, and then press this little button on here, and you see that green light turns on. Just like that. Make sure you have it all the way in the number 1 setting to the left. As you rotate this to the right, when you press it, that green light's gonna get dimmer. So I'm gonna just rotate it a couple clicks to the right, press it again. And yeah, it's dimmer. Couple more clicks. And yeah, now it's like not even, you can barely see it at all. So that's good, we know our switch is working. So back in the engine bay, this is gonna stay unplugged, and I usually tape it up like that just to kind of keep it covered. Then what you wanna do is just zip tie this cable, have it nice and neat out of the way, and then you're done in the engine bay. Now we're gonna get this switch ready for install. First thing I like to do is cut this stupid little kind of nipple tit off. It's on the right side there. I just use some little side cutters and just kind of snip it off. Like that, you can see it's gone now. Now with the BDX, there's actually only 4 tunes on here. So you might notice that this switch has 5 positions. We're gonna change it to 4. So loosen this nut off, then take this other little washer off. Make sure the switch is rotated all the way to the left for counterclockwise position. And then we're gonna take this metal ring off. It should just fall off if you tap it on something, or you can use a pick to pop it out like that. So here you notice it kind of has that pin there. If you look on the switch, there's different holes it can go into. You want to pick the one for number 4. So it's going to be the 3rd hole. And the number 4 will be on the left side of the hole. So it's that guy right there on the tip of my fingernail. Then you can just hand tighten that nut and then just confirm it has 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's it. It doesn't have anything more. So now we're ready to mount this switch. I like to mount it right here. You can pick anywhere in the truck to mount it as long as you have room for this switch behind wherever you're mounting it to. So if you use a upholstery tool, you can just kind of pop this out. Pop out this side too. Should come out though. There we go. Then basically this switch is gonna mount right here. So you don't want it to be too close to this clip. You wanna make sure that it's got enough room kind of right in the middle so that it has room from the steering column on this side and that it's not too close to that clip. And we're gonna drill a hole right in the center there. You're gonna grab a 3/8 drill bit. And then we're gonna drill a hole in there. Something like that. Now you're gonna wanna run your switch up underneath the dash and out here, just like that. And then you're going to take this nut off again and we're just gonna pop it in that hole. Then put that washer and that nut on and tighten it up. You can see we got our switch installed. It does come with this sticker you can put underneath that nut if you want, but I think the stickers look tacky in my opinion. But now we're gonna put the knob on. The kit comes with a little Allen key, so loosen that set screw. Then you can slide your knob on and tighten it up. It's like that. If you find your switch is hard to rotate, just loosen that set screw and pull the switch back a little bit and retighten it. Sometimes it kind of rubs on the nut. Then you can pop this back up, clip it into place. Just kind of be careful with these wires as you do it. Make sure you run them in a good spot. And voila, nice clean switch install. Go underneath and zip tie these wires. Put them nice and neat out of the way where they're not going to hit anything. And that is it. You have successfully tuned and installed the switch on your 6.7 Powerstroke. So I hope that video helped you guys out. Again, if you want to show extra support, go to darkirondiesel.com. Check out the links in the description for the different delete kits from the Diesel Dudes. Check those out. But as always, I appreciate you guys watching and I hope to see you on another video soon.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs.